Andy, what kind of... This is a nice cut. Well, rumple up. When I started late, 8:07, on Friday, 23rd of June, 2017. Everybody could see that there was some changes. Philip got a little trim. Andy tell me that the barber have some change for me. Andy, the barber, is a woman, and she's beyond this chat. So, slow that. Yeah. What's going on, Trinidad and Tobago? What's going on? Today, we upgraded our internet connection, and I want to do a speed test now to let you know. This morning's speed test, we were at 36 download, 16 upload. Today, now, I don't know if we higher or lower. Yeah, it's looking terrible. And I'm not sure why. And I wonder if it's because of the live video though. Because would that affect it? I don't know. We have an 18.27 download and we're hovering around 15.5 upload. So we're working. We've turned off one of the Wi-Fi's. So, and all of this is like a big test, eh? All of this is like one big test. I don't know. Just give me 1 minute. as we turned on that Wi-Fi now, to see what impact that has. All the other devices are off. So the next step, after the next couple of days with the new Wi-Fi speeds, we are going to double the speed. So they're working on that on their end. It's supposed to go to 120. So I guess by Monday. Yeah, so run cable directly to your computer. Neil Mohammed, I have a MacBook Pro, and unfortunately, Facebook alone knows why. You cannot go live on Facebook. You cannot go live on Facebook on a MacBook Pro. So my rig is an iPhone literally taped to my laptop. I'm running the laptop and I'm running the phone. No audio. I don't know what you're saying. If you're not hearing me, check what's going on your end, because nobody else said that. Yeah, so I have an iPhone literally taped to the screen of my MacBook Pro. I have all of the best professionals in Trinidad working on this to see what's the best arrangement. We have one of our team members, Maya. She's based foreign. Maya's looking into getting an app that would simultaneously, and as I'm saying that would simultaneously stream this live video to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So people saying it's sticking. Flo is on the page, so Flo will tell me why it might be sticking. Some people say the audio good, some people having audio problems. Isn't that the life? But anyway, just keeping you all abreast of the developments. My internet, but Diego Martin had no electricity for a large part of this afternoon, and I shared a video of me by a traffic light that only now came into my feed. All of today there have been problems with posts on my feed. So I mean, they're having a time with what we're doing. The UNC and the little are now all over my wall because I exposed Darumai last night. Now, I want to say this. They're going to come and they're going to attack me and they're going to attack Jericho and they're going to share the pictures of me when I lost the bet because Argentina lost the World Cup, so I had to take a profile picture wearing a dress. They're going to share that picture. They're going to say, Trinidad, your son get a big multi-million-dollar contract to build a slipper drain or some stupidness. It was barely $1 million and they bust and they lost. They will never, ever, ever get involved in that again. He is all of them that thought that that's how contractors make money. But they will come at me and they will attack me. And I told Jerry Hadid and Anand Ramlogan today, Mr. Silk and the beacon of UNC, and I want to say it clear, especially to you, Mr. Jerry Hadid, I want you to pull your daughter square, because the other morning in the gym, I was very polite and I said, good morning. And your daughter said to me, you don't know who my relative is, don't talk to me. And nearly cussed where she asked in the gym, Jerry. But I stuck a pin in it because I want to be a gentleman. But I want to tell you that I know a lot of where the UNC put the business. And I'm trying to be respectful. And I'm trying to be decent. But I want to tell you, from Vasant Bharat and Rudal Munilal and the phony cabinet meeting that tried to smear Gary Griffith that was proven to be false, and Vasant had to back as a minister of communication, from there come forward to all the drunky monkey videos that I helped suppress, brother. Or you slow your roll. You see Alan Karim and Marcia Braveboy and the 361 UNC sycophants, tell them, rest me, you know, back off me. Because I will wade into UNC like a raging bull. Rowley is joke, you know. Rowley is joke. Rowley is all your partner. All your tea room lineman partner. Fooling people. I just say it. I just say it. I just say it. Because the reality of the politics in Trinidad and Tobago is, the UNC is nobody's solution to the miasma that is the PNM. And I'm going to do my endeavor best not to cuss at all tonight. I will try to limit it. I hope Alicia Hart is here tonight. I will do my best to cuss only on Wednesday videos. So who don't want to hear me cuss, don't come on a Wednesday. Okay? Or was that Thursday? Last night was Thursday. Thursdays is for cussing. But Jerry, pull back your people, bro. Pull back your people. I'm fed up, you know. I'm fed up of the PNM and the UNC and the masked men hiding behind the scenes, puppeteering. I'm fed up of all of this now, you know. I'm fed up of all of this now. Only leave me alone, because you see me, I here to talk to Trinidad and Tobago. And if anything fall in your garden, do some gardening. Don't play to attack me personally, because I'll hit you back hard. I'll hit you back very hard. And I hear all the talks, and I hear all the threats, and I hear all the bacchanal from both. I will hit you back very hard. So Annan and Jerry, pull back Alan and Brave Boy and tell them we will fund you for other things. Do not attack Philip, because Philip will wade into the UNC. Because I ain't called Kamala drunk yet. I ain't called her drunk yet. Remember that. I haven't referred to her substance abuse problems. I ain't gone in room 201 yet, you know. Jerry, Vasant, Ernie, Ross. I ain't going to room 201 and the meetings we had the following morning at Ross Advertising trying to sanitize and save Anil Roberts. I am saying, again, give me a wide berth. UNC sycophants, I am not your flavor. Don't touch me. Because what I will do and what I will say, the UNC are ready to have it heard. Like I have a house in Palmis that take up 4 out of 6 lots. That is a perfect mansion if you're in the housing business that nobody ever went to the bottom of. This question I want to ask tonight to Kamala Persad Bissessar. When you fired Herbert Volney for misbehaving in public office, why was he never investigated, prosecuted, and charged? Why did Herbert Volney's attempt to hijack and abuse the privilege of the parliament to write a law that would have freed Ishan Steve, you accepted that he was the one responsible for Section 34, Kamala? Why was Herbert Volney never investigated, prosecuted, or charged for misbehavior in public office? Why? Yes? When Vasant Bharat, as Minister of Communication, put out his fraudulent official communication to the media on Gary Griffith, and Gary immediately threatened to sue him, and he backed back, why wasn't Vasant fired and investigated for misbehavior in public office? You see, the UNC have plenty questions to answer from Calco come back. Because at the time, the director of highways was Kalu father-in-law. Now the same man who gave Calco all them contracts is a director of the same Calco. So Kamala, tell your people, back off Phil. Back off me. And I will monitor. I'll stick a pin in it for 24 hours. If Alan and Marcy and the rest of the UNC sycophantic fringe continue to come at me, they will run out of ammunition before I stop talking. I could promise you that. Yes? So let me move forward now, peeps. I just need to put that in the public space. And sorry for disturbing you on your Friday evening. And I know that the UNC happy for this flood. The UNC happy for this flood. All of a sudden, Kamala relevant. She all over the place. What going on in the parliament, Cams? What going on in the parliament? The leader of the opposition. What going on there? Oh, you really on Kixley? You and Keith. Keep fooling the nation. Yeah, people, the messages while are on air, it don't work. I can't do both. But to those who trying to dilute the message and make it personal, hear what? Forget me. You will never have opportunity to vote for me. I just want to make sure that the people you vote for, vote your vote. I promise you that.
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. But use it well before it's late.
This is a nation that had an Ebola scare only until We had an Ebola scare only until the UNC's Minister of Health was able to buy hazmat suits at 500 times the price of what you could have bought it for on eBay. 500 times the price, you know. That is the reality of this country today. $6.25 billion being spent on healthcare. Now, people can't get food to eat in the hospital. Terence Dial saying, Fuad Khan, same bag of nonsense, same bench warmer, same contract issuer, same nothing from Ministry of Health. The people who are in the hospital tonight suffering. But people want me to come here on this video and entertain you. People send me messages today trying to leave Port of Spain. People sat in traffic. One person sat in traffic, believe this or not, for 3 hours next to the Jean Pierre complex. Move 6 feet. 6 feet. It moves 6 feet. The PNM and the speed guns. Yes, Richard Board, I would like to know what's going on with that. The CDA board member who buying up properties all over the place. Go and check members of parliament. You see, you need a government that's willing to go and check and see all those former MPs. And how you're doing it, you're going to the real estate agents. You're going to the real estate agents and you will tell me when you advise them, buy it in a company name, what's the name of the company? Because you're supposed to provide that information to the FIU. And you know as a real estate agent that you're bound by certain rules where the financial intelligence unit is concerned. But you're ducking your responsibility, telling former members of parliament, put in this company, put in that company, dealing with lawyers. You're dealing with actual lawyers. Real estate agents are now dealing with lawyers on behalf of former and current members of parliament, buying up $5 and $6 million properties and hiding corruption dogs. You know why you can't get US money right now in this country? The billions of dollars that was stolen in the last 5 years is joke to what being stolen now. I mean, it's joke. It's joke. They just gone mad now. A man tell me today he have information on a current member of parliament, but he's afraid to give it to me because if I bust it in the public space, it might affect the public. I'm waiting to see what that information is. But they have, go and check them. Take the passports, ask them. Submit your passport. Show me where you've been. Go and check it. Banking districts. Go and check it. Banking districts. Leaving with a 40,000, a 50,000. Just enough to not trigger. These are former members of parliament. No, it's obscene that former members of parliament will be having $30-40 million to hide. What is really obscene is that their kickback, that $30-40 million, is joke to what was really stolen. That's their share. The business people who steal, who build in schools under UNC, build in schools under PNM, build in hospital under UNC, build in hospital under PNM, build Napa, build SAPA for PNM, you cost them for money, you hire them as UNC. And all of these people doing their deals, so you know you're dealing with a corrupt politician, a member of parliament, a public office holder, and he taking his $40-50 million kickback to share among the cabinet. So you could charge them what you want. I hear a contractor's son just buy a next Bentley. This is a nation that has made people so obscenely rich, paving roads, and we don't have a single smooth road in this country. How you like yourself, Trinidad and Tobago? How you like yourself? Go to the hospital. If you do an audit of the hospital's expenditure for the past 10 years, and you do not end up with a literal rogues gallery of people to jail in this country, shut it down. Shut it down, close it. It's done. As I said last night to the media, when the Prime Minister could tell you, don't ask me no question, you sounding like my wife, close up shop. You're done. You finish. Because you can't question the Prime Minister. What's your role? What's your role? To go in lab and tell and show we dead bodies? That's your role? Yeah. But I was talking to somebody today, and I said to him, when people pretended that they were surprised that somebody went in the church and held up the church during Mass for the collection, I didn't say anything. Check my wall. I talked about everything. I didn't say nothing. They hold up the church with a gun and thief the collection during Mass. I said nothing. When they robbed Harvey, I said nothing. I only commented the speed with which the robbers were held, but I said nothing. You know why I said nothing? Because years ago I said, when St. Finbar's Church had to put up electric fencing around the church, I said it was over. Pack up, close up shop, done. Because if you have to protect yourself as the church from the community, you failed. You failed. And that's St. Finbar's Church in the shadow of Goodwood Park, across the road from Goodwood Gardens. So the only people they really have to deal with is Sanganga Trace, which are a couple streets, and La Puerta. And if Sanganga Trace and La Puerta fighting St. Finbar's Church, St. Finbar's failed. It failed. Because if you drive past a church, and I couldn't believe the obscenity of seeing the church completely surrounded by electric fences and warnings that the fence is electrified. I said, well, that's it. Game done. Game done. Because the church failed in its remit. And if the church had to protect itself from its parishioners, then it was only a matter of time before it went to where it went. And now they're robbing priests. And now they're robbing priests. So in everything in this country, we've lost the plot. We've forgotten what media is for, what church is for, what member of parliament is for, what accountant is for, what lawyer is for. All of we is ego whore. All of we. All of we want to like ourselves. We want to like ourselves. Publish me now. All them priests and thing who publishing regular. What's that for? What's that for? Ego. Ego. All of them. And the media know to stroke that. Oh God, they send a little pretty little journalist this higher. Straight out of SCXC. Come on, you're a journalist. Look at pad and a pencil, you're a journalist. And you can write that. Go and stroke them. The ego, that is. Go and stroke the ego. Tell them, give you a sound bite. Our reality in this country, the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic. Today, the mayor and his people celebrated the city of piss and vagrants. Port of Spain does not have to do anything else to fail. Port of Spain is failed. Louis Leasing stopped the owners of 51 Degrees from extending their balcony because they had no permission to do it. And they said, no, we just put up these steel beams as a style. And they waited till Louis was fired. They no longer elected Louis, and they built a balcony. So did somebody else give 51 Degrees the permission to put out the balcony? And how did 51 Degrees know that they could put down, they could cast their footings, put up the beams, the steel beams, and wait out Louis? How? How is that possible? There are nightclubs in this country built on Jupiter houses in Woodbrook. I don't know who give them licenses, and it is a miracle that one of those houses ain't collapsed yet with bass and pressure from people. Because it's not built for that. It's not built for that. So when I go, I stay outside. The only place I really go is Shakers, and they're closing down. But when I go, I stay outside. Because I feel one of them buildings, they're old. They're real old, and they're not built for that. They're not built for that. The Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic. When the man who had owned the corner property on Carlos Street tried to sell it, I think it was Montrichard, he couldn't sell it because he couldn't get approvals to build. Like a fool, they broke down the building that was there before. I watch where Aria is. Aria buy a house. The people who bought Aria, the first owners, I don't know who own it now, they buy a house and they slowly build Aria around the existing house, taking it apart slowly. But anybody come and look, you see, well, it's looking like a renovation. Nothing from the original house is left. But that is a renovation. Yeah? So the corner of Carlos Street, and I just want to know, Because I was one of the people who inquired about it 20 years ago. The man said, well, the problem is, town and country say because of the size of the plot and where it is and the corner and all this bullshit, you can't build nothing, you can't get no approvals. So somebody put up a bar and the purple shed and the purple this and the purple... And slowly, you ever watch how it's done in Trinidad? Slowly. Like on the street with Mass Camp, French Street, right next to Young Sing, there is a, I don't know what to call it. Is it an inn, a hotel? Travelers, I think. Slowly building his outside walls into interior walls. And every couple of months you will see a next row of blocks. And eventually soon, what used to be the outside is now on the inside. And all I'm saying is, if I am seeing it, how come there is nobody in charge of Woodbrook? How come? And I asked last night, how could we sell a property in Cocorite that belongs to the state, change hands privately for $12 million, and the state gets $10 a year? How come? How are these things happening? How come? Where's the governance and the management? So last night, I wanted to ask, why no government has seen it fit to stop the drug trade in Trinidad and Tobago? But you could stick a pin in that. Why has no government seen it fit to move the port? Everybody knows. And if you talk to Ray Furlong, who's probably one of the best traffic management experts in the world, Ray will tell you the port have to move. Because the port have to move. All the port does is create traffic in town between Movietown and Colville Street. None of the containers on the port have anything to do with Woodbrook. So why is the port still in Woodbrook? For less money than it would have taken to build the Kuva Hospital or the Taruba Tsunami Shelter, they could have moved the port. They could have built a facility 10 times the size and created a facility where you would unstuff your goods. So in case inside of that container that's saying plywood, they have US. Or in case inside of that container that's saying it have chicken, it have marijuana. Or in case inside of that car parts, it really have cocaine. We would see and we would know and people would be charged. I said today, one of the biggest companies in the world is Samsung. Samsung's vice president was arrested, charged and jailed for bribery. Samsung's vice president. Samsung's budget is bigger than Trinidad's budget. Samsung. All of these things that need fixing. Nothing being fixed. Why? Why is nothing being fixed? I'll tell you. That traffic today and that traffic that building every evening must frustrate the crap out of Trinidadians until they say, oh God, we don't care what you spend, fix it. In walks Junior Sammy. In walks Northern Construction. In walks Calco. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. We are a nation slowly being taken apart by the people we vote into office. They take you out on 2 dates, they buy you a Royal Castle and a Guinness, and they promise you all the love in the world, they rub your head, and then they take you home, marry you, and beat you. And beat you. And for some reason, when you leave that man that beating you, and you find the next man, you find the next one that beating you. And for some reason, you only think that only them 2 men exist. So if you leave one, you're going back by the other. Because the other one calling you, I still have Royal Castle. Because that's the bullshit that goes on in this country when we move from PNM to UNC, from UNC to PNM. It's nonsense. It doesn't, I'm not cussing it. I ain't cuss once. I ain't cuss once the night in my head. A real cussing and a cussing Trinidadians because I'm thinking, surely at some point we have enough common sense to know, wait a minute, if we've had $3 trillion and we have nothing to show for it, and we don't have the money, where's that money? Where's the $3 trillion? Where's it? It didn't run CPEP. It didn't pay for the gas subsidy. I listen to the, see, this is where I'm not cussing. As listen to the foolishness people do, it did not pay for the gas subsidy. And it is not what is costing for CPEP. Where's that $3 trillion? When Patrick Manning approved the Brian Lara tsunami shelter for $136 million in his cabinet, because when people say cabinet will decide, you know what cabinet is? Cabinet is the prime minister and his closest ministers together in secret, because they can't come out and betray cabinet confidence, so they can talk what the hell they want in there. When Manning and his cabinet approved to build the Brian Lara tsunami shelter for $136 million, and it ballooned to $800 million in cost overruns, where did that money go? Where did it go? Kamala just built a hospital for $1 billion. And if you take a quantity surveyor in that building minus equipment, they don't have $30 million. They don't have $30 million. I don't care what you do. Fifth day, if you push, accommodate for corruption, how would you reach $1 billion? What did they do? What did they do? How is that $1 billion? When Napa and Sapa was budgeted for $96 and $111 million each, and together they crossed $1 billion in cost overruns. What does that mean? Where did that money go? Where is it? Because you see, that money is your money. Not your house, your car, your job, your business. Because Keith Rowley, the Prime Minister of the Republic, has set aside $25 million for the people of the flood-affected areas, $20,000 a person. And Kamala gone down there with Cricks and Water from her crew. Remember when Fire One Fireworks and the rest of the companies had come together and say, we helping you when they have flood, we will give you away, and Blue Waters on them. All this is distraction, you know that. But see, I ain't cost yet, what's the time? 8:36. I ain't cost yet. So Cricks and Water and a $20,000 from central government. Hush. Take that and hush. That is your share. Shiny bubbles, trinkets. I don't care what courts say. Bring your report and we will write off the debt. Insurance will pay for that, and the insurance premium will go up just enough to cover the cost of that. So you and everybody else paying for it next year, but stick a pen in that. It's like when the union march for an increase, and you get the increase, and then the cost of living go up in keeping with the increase, so you're back to square one. But you march, and you win. Yeah? So this evening, I put up on my Facebook page a picture of a gallows. I put a picture of a gallows. And I said that they say bring back hanging. And I agree. And I say build it on Independence Square. Big. Paint it white. Light it up. And use it to hang the criminals who have raped this nation. Because you see, all them little black hen chicken that you're seeing in them video, or you're sharing, oh God, look at he. I was listening to y'all. Casting aspersions. You don't know. You as the raindrop, you've caused that flood. And I don't know if you're silly, stupid, or in self-denial, that you don't realize that when you and your husband or your wife steal public money and you make it that much more difficult for the average person to have a life, at some point they will make a life. And if that life involves pointing a gun in your face, you're responsible. You point that gun. You point that gun. But I say, hang the corrupt public office holders. Hang their friends in high places who facilitated the corruption. Hang the businessmen who use connections to bleed the treasury. Hang the accountants who sanitize the theft. Hang the deviant lawyers who helped the co-conspirators plan the crime to evade justice. Hang the real estate agents who took cash payments. You know who you are. I'm going to start calling all your name. Area, call out your people, call a meeting. Tell them Philip Alexander, go in and call people name, because I know that you're taking cash payments and you're telling them, put it, and real high-priced attorney company names calling. Real high-priced attorney company names calling. That you're going in and they're telling you, yes, we will create AJK Holdings and SKX Holdings and TXY Holdings. Put this house in that, put this one in that. Make your wife a director in this one, your mother a director and your grandfather. He dead, don't worry about that now, man. He could be a director. It's the sign for him. Hang the deviant lawyers. Hang the banksters, bank gangsters, who helped move the criminal proceeds. I want to tell you something. Nobody ain't burying their money. Bank managers who line in politician house. Because I knew a bank manager in Scotiabank. Overnight, driving real nice, living posh. When I see him out, booking champagne, I say, but bank's paying well. Hang the banksters who helped move the criminal proceeds, and hang every co-conspirator in the white-collar criminal enterprises that have brought this nation to its knees. Hang every last one of them. Seize their assets. Repatriate the people's money. Want crime to stop? Start at the top.
If it is the time is now that change should come about, just as how you vote them in, vote them out, register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Steal your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy.
I ain't cussed once.
Vote them out with total skull and utter disdain. Let's put our currency together again.
Alan Karim is confined to a wheelchair. Alan Karim needs stem cell intervention. Alan Karim told me the pittance that he gets from the UNC when he is their whole voice. When you go on all of the UNC threads, especially the main UNC social media group, is a skinny little Indian fella named Alan Karim running that, confined to a wheelchair, living on cricks and water that he getting from the government, from the opposition now. And they won't help him properly. And he don't know better. Brilliant, brilliant man. Alan Karim could be a top research officer. What is he? He is used as a political attack dog. Alan Karim's job is to coordinate the 3,000 members in the UNC group. They have about 1,500 of them as fake profiles. And their job is to attack people. It's like what Dane Wilson used to do for the PNN. And people tell me stop calling these people's names because I'm giving them more credibility than they deserve. I'm not trying to do that, you know. I don't care who get any attention. Go and find them and look at them. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. What I care about is my nation. I care about my nation. And I say it publicly now. I'm not running for nothing. So, I don't want a job. I don't want a contract. I don't want a shortcut. I don't want an easement. I don't want blue lights. I don't want girls. I don't want nothing for this. I'm doing this at my expense and the couple people who helping me do it. All I want to do is light it up. I want to show you how this country could be and what it really is. What it really is. Because poor people not running in the church accidentally. The church know why the church getting robbed now. And the church had to deal with that. I will never forget the story. A man tell me, an old man was standing up on a corner waiting for a taxi. And a taxi that was passing, a big strong fella get out and start to beat that man. That old man. People trying to hold this fella, but he big and strong. And he beating that old man bloody, break him up, he beat him bad. Police reach, police catch the tail to hold and pull this man, beating that old man. When they finally throw him in the car. We're doing that. When he was a little boy, and that old man was a strong man, used to abuse him. Tables turn, sir. The man see him. And all those years of that little boy who take all that licks and all that abuse, it came home. He beat that man within an inch of his life. And I tell you something, That is real justice. Total and sure. All bets, all debts, everything settled. And if you think that you are going to vote a government into power that treat like how they treat the whole mortgage bank scam, okay, we go put back the money, sorry, oops, but it's $800 million you're trying to thief. So you should have get 5 lifetimes worth of jail, but you're properly ensconced in the PNM, so take a break. Yeah? Yeah? Because Asians thief, and all they do, where they gone? Rowley march round the country on Section 34. Rowley in power 2 years now, and I ain't even hear about Section 31. So he forget about that. And they have systems for that. Corned beef mouth say, the Prime Minister don't have to come. They have systems for that. But today the nation flood and all the systems fail because the ODPM and the Met Office and the regional corporations and central government, and nobody knew it was coming. And it nearly drowned the nation again today. And it making things worse because the riverbanks busting and it causing traffic that have people stuck for 3, 4, 5 hours trying to go home and nobody managing. Like current went in Diego Martin since 5 o'clock and it went in the police station. That is, you could pelt a stone from the police station and hit the traffic light intersection, and not one police officer thought to think to go out there and direct traffic, but traffic trying to turn in 17 different directions. 250,000 people trying to go into Diego Martin. Fend for yourself. Fend for yourself. That is this country. And all the sycophants from both sides that defending their side, they don't care. They don't care. Because they don't have to care. Because this is a land where the people figured us out. The rest of we half-breeds like me. I remember when David Graham had suggested Red Man Day, because every other race have a holiday. And he had suggested Red Man Day. I never stopped laughing at that. But they figure us out. All the rest of the races, we don't matter. We don't matter. Bernard Panton said it will take a couple more years for all the mixed breeds to equal a third. He said we're almost there. And when we equal a third, then the country wouldn't be 2 halves and also ran. It would be 3/3. And then maybe, but I don't know. Because that's a melting pot of everybody else. But the blacks and the Indians control the vote to a certain extent. And all you have to do is sow racial discord against the two sides. Sow racial discord. Tell black people that Indian people don't want you to have nice things. Tell Indian people that black people want to burglarize your children and rape your wife. And separate them in hate. And then create 2 political constructs called the PNM and the UNC. And because you see, Basdeo Pandey made an ass of everybody, step out of NAR, formed Club 88, got into government and partied with Donald Trump and played golf for the duration. He played golf. Of course, he gave out contracts. We say the man build police station, the man build school. But all those things that build are always overpriced and robs the country. We never get value for money. It's like I said tonight, standing in the middle of the intersection, why we don't have a generator? And I'm thinking, we're going to get $100 million generator in this intersection in about 2 weeks. And they're going to have a big ribbon cutting ceremony. And the people who supply the generator and the people who authorize it, they're going to thank me in their mind for being an ass. Like Calco and them, we got I think $136 million for the bypass. They didn't give me $1. I get my lawyer to write them a letter, say we designed this thing. They didn't take we on. Suruj say, fire ban he. They well like up themselves. Suruj went and opened that Diego Martin bypass like he knew. Suruj couldn't find Diego Martin with a dart and a map. When he closed the switchback, and I called him publicly, and they published it in all the media, and I said, you are going to cause riot in Cocorita and Diego Martin. And he said, let me see how it go. The next morning, 6 o'clock, the highway was on fire. But he take all the credit and he cut the ribbon and he was there with Sammy whole family and Stacey Rupnarain and all them like up themselves. But I, who designed the bypass, Last in line. I see the UNC want to share that picture too. I wanted to know what they're sharing. Eh? But the reality of our situation is this. You cannot run a country on racist politics. Because for it to work, the PNM has to deliberately ignore the Indian people in the flood. That's for it to work. That's the only way for it to work. Because you need that strife. And you need Kamala to go down there in she boots and she CPAP jacket to say, I care about Indians, he don't. So that the Indian people will vote the UNC in next. And the PNM will take a break and take some trips to move their money. To move their millions. That they're stealing now. And some of us have decided that's not good enough. And we will step up and step forward and try and make ourselves available as an opportunity for this nation to finally wrest itself free from the political investor class that puppeteers the PNM and the UNC against each other in gross, macabre, bizarre theater to distract and fool the population, who will defend their squalor as long as the people who inflicting the licks on them look like them. The greatest trick the devil ever played was when he convinced the world he didn't exist. The greatest trick. The slavery never ended. We just learned how to make the slaves beat themselves into submission. We just learned how to do that. How to let the slaves beat themselves into submission. That is the reality of this country. So I had a meeting today, some very good people, and they tell me how you're going to fix that. And I used the example of the wrecker. And I said if the wrecker could work so well, and that is police and private enterprise working together, solving a problem. The wrecker works well. Nothing in this country works as well as the wrecker. The only place that getting away from the wrath of the wrecker, for some reason, is Hot Shop Roti Shop. And I don't understand how Hot Shop Roti Shop and the Spanish place across the road that causes so much traffic on Mokurapa Road never sees the wrecker. But that's another story. But other than there, the wrecker works real good. Real good. And if the wrecker could work so well, then we could make other things work. And I said to him, if I was a prime minister, I would success leaves clues. I would copy the wrecker model and I would incentivize every crime. Every arrest that is a successful prosecution by a police officer, he must get a bonus. Plus, for the rogue police officers in the service, I would give $25,000 bonus to the police officer who gives information that leads to the arrest and conviction of rogue junior police officers, and $50,000 to $100,000 bonus to the police officer that provides information that leads to the arrest and prosecution of rogue senior police officers. And all of a sudden, the Great Blue Wall will collapse. And I'll make sure that anybody who achieves the rank of sergeant by merit, not by time, you achieve the rank of sergeant, you get a housing allowance. And if you go and you get your master's in criminology or a law degree, and you automatically promoted to inspector, you get a Senate salary, tax-free status. I want to see my honest, decent, hard-working law enforcement officers benefiting. Just like these overnight fellas, they pluck them, drop them in the Senate, and tomorrow them going down by BMW to buy something large, because they get half the price off, all the tax gone. The police should benefit too. And the school principals, to become a school principal, if you have your master's in education and a certain amount of years experience, we make you a school principal, you get a senate, you get the same level salary as the senate. And you get tax-free status. Respect our teachers. A vice principal must have a housing allowance. So people will stay in the service, in the different services, and police and teachers is the front line of this country. Police and teachers. If we treat our teachers and our police well, this country will start to turn around. If we make it possible for the average person to own a home, the communities will build back. Once we create an education system that allows the average person to thrive and do well, make all schools prestige schools, remove the nonsense of the SCA, the country, the people, everybody, the hope will start to bloom in this country. Right now it's despair. It's despair. The people that go in Laventille Secondary have no hope. None. The people who living in Beetham and John living in despair. And that was visited now on the people of Barrackpore. Because they've seen how underrepresented they really are. Because there's nobody to really care. Yeah?
Put them out of power, dominate their reign. Let's put our country together again. If for 30 years you voting them in, and these old riches, as soon as they win, they give you big words and enslave your souls, promising you roads and giving potholes. If they are the reason why the economy would sprout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out, vote them out.
Healthcare in this country was treated as a criminal enterprise for a long time, for far too long. And we need to change that. And I ask the current government to please steal this idea. Build 41 dedicated health centers in all constituencies. Give them dedicated ambulances, not to go and pick people up. That ambulance is in case you find yourself at that hospital and what you have they can't treat. They could stabilize you and get you somewhere else. 24 hours. So if you need to get your food badge, you don't have to miss work to go and get your food badge. And accident and emergency 24 hours with a minor surgery suite that could deal with gunshot, accident, knife wound, you cut yourself home cooking, burn, it could deal with poison, it could deal with those kind of things. So that you have, and that is $2 billion max to run a year. 2 billion, we spending 6. That's 2 billion max to properly outfit and run all 41. So your current hospitals could become repurposed to treat with issues that the 41 mini hospitals, the health centers in all 41 constituencies. Because Diego Martin West need a hospital. Diego Martin West, if you in Bagatelle and a snake bite you, and you have to get to the Port of Spain General Hospital, you're dead. Too many people in this country die from things that they shouldn't have to die from. If there was a proper medical healthcare system in this country where you get a heart attack, you're in 5 minutes from a hospital that have the ability to treat with heart attack, accident and emergency. We could generate doctors. We have a lot of doctors. We have 150 and 50 something more coming out now that have nowhere to go. Do the math. That's 3 already, 4 per hospital. You could work shifts. We have enough doctors. We have enough nurses. We could run this. We could do this properly. And people don't have to die for foolishness. accident and all that drama. We could solve these problems. I said today, all these buildings that Manning built in Port of Spain, I would like to revive him and tap him up. Port of Spain didn't need more buildings. Port of Spain is already toppling over. We have a capital city that you have to drive through a ghetto and a city dump, and a national dump to get to already. And what you've done is you've put all the offices of state in that one side of the island and tell 200,000 people come to work here every morning and go home every evening. They can't afford house in town. They can't afford house in Westmoreland, not these people. I mean, I know somebody, she working in the public sector 15 years, and she nowhere close to being able to, her next step is to squat. She nowhere close to being able to own a house. She married, she in a happy marriage, so she don't want to go in the HDC and take off her clothes. So she can't benefit from a skip in the HDC line. Yeah? This is how we're treating our people in a nation that's spending $60 billion a year. And it is insane. And it is insane. I've said, all of the government buildings, Patrick and Kid Rowley, steal this, steal it. All of the government offices, build them in the center of the island. Create a new city. Create highways that lead from all 4 points of Trinidad and Tobago straight to that city in the center of the island, so that nobody is ever more than 40 minutes away from it, traffic free. Traffic free. And then, with all that free real estate out of Port of Spain, businesses could come back in there for a realistic rent, because it's still the capital city, for a realistic rent, because the rent become astronomical. So now that you've removed all those millions of square foot of government offices, businesses that are pummeling its way through Woodbrook and now Sinclair could come back, and we could get back to something like planning. Yeah? And that will generate billions of dollars in revenue as other developers come to build commercial and housing districts around what is now the business and government sector of Trinidad and Tobago. They will want to come and build housing developments, and you do joint ventures with them and you give them the opportunity. But you make sure that you have rules. It must have biking paths. Any building that built in this new city must provide showers and lockers for workers who could run to work, walk to work, ride to work. Make sure you have biking lanes with all your roads so people could run and ride, exercise in the morning, get to work, go in, bathe, dress, go to work, come back out, run back home. It don't have to be a madness. We could build a country where you could start there, because I said if I was Prime Minister, the PNM stole the idea but they didn't use it. I said it's cheap and easy to give this entire country free broadband wireless. Free broadband Wi-Fi in this country would create the opportunity for people who are now growing to have untrammeled access to the World Wide Web. And we could become the next Silicon Valley. Just for that. Apps is the future. There are people who are making billions. WhatsApp just sold for billions of dollars. Instagram is an app. Take your picture and post it here. LinkedIn. Why these things not being developed in Trinidad and Tobago is because the people don't have access. They don't have access. And you don't need to build a whole Intech park in Wallerfield that the Bush now reclaiming because it failed. If you go up Wallerfield and look at the hundreds of millions of dollars Manning spent and Kamala ignored the Intech park because it's the greatest waste, and all of the buildings are now rotting and rusting and falling apart. And the jungle is re-encroaching to claim it back. You could use that for a housing project or something. Don't let it waste all that infrastructure spent there in Intech Park. But you don't need an Intech Park. All you need is free island-wide broadband, 260 MBS, everybody, massive megabyte speed. And let the people, get out the people away. Let them find themselves. And who's saying that some of them will look at porn? Brother, sister, this nation is already the porn city of the world. We are the porn capital. We are the #1 for porn. They don't need free anything to do it. They're doing it already. They're taking mobile data and doing it. That's the truth. as the truth. But I told some teachers who have one foot in the dinosaur era, who were shocked when I said that the future of teaching and school is eventually paperless classrooms, teacherless classrooms, and eventually no classroom at all. People will learn home or in the community or some other way it will develop. Because nobody envisaged Facebook, nobody envisaged the internet, nobody envisaged the fact that I could be broadcasting live to the whole world tonight from the comfort of my living room. The world is changing at a remarkable pace. And we have to stop being so afraid of development. We must embrace it and find a way to maximize it, see how we could benefit from it, how all our people could benefit from it. Because the day we start, the analogy we use today, Trinidad and Tobago is like one of those old-time wooden sailing boats going down the road, trying to get to our destination, and people pulling up the planks of the boat and lighting them on fire to keep warm, not realizing they're sinking the boat. That's what we do. That's what we do. In quick time, right now we have the technology right now that you could find the best French teacher in Trinidad. Put up big screens in every class because parents use schools for babysitting, and I understand that. So we don't want the babysitting service to go away, but you don't need teachers anymore. Because all the children in all the schools could be looking at a screen being taught at the exact same time, the exact same curriculum by the exact same teacher. And you have supervisors in the class. Not teachers, supervisors. And those supervisors should be trained for things like psychology and understanding the people that they're dealing with, discipline and psychology and that kind of stuff. But you could get all of your knowledge come from one source because it could happen now. And it's going to be a quick time when schools are going to be redundant. The minute somebody develops the technology where you could send a urine and a blood sample into your device, doctors and hospitals will only be necessary in cases of emergency. People will not, you could go online to a virtual doctor now. WebMD is real. And that's not stopping. That's not stopping. We are already at the point in Trinidad, they have 3 companies, grocery delivery startups. That's not going to stop. In quick time, the vast majority of people in this country are going to be shopping online and having their food and their clothes delivered to their door. In a world where malls are closing down and retail giants are shutting down, and it's from the manufacturer to the end user via the internet, we build in malls. They come in here. They sell leave that alone. But the truth of the matter is, we are not going anywhere as a nation if we're still playing race politics. We're not going anywhere as a nation if that flood that just took place is used as a reason to give Kamala and the UNC government again. Because they failed and they had no vision for this country. And Keith Rowley and this PNM has no vision for this country. And neither of them did anything to take us forward. Neither of them. Both of them have supervised massive corruption and theft. Both of them used the needs of the people to manipulate the people and made fools of Indian people with box drain and making fools of black people with CPEP. And none of that serves the people. We do not have a food policy, an education policy, a health policy. We have nothing like a national security policy. We have no vision for this nation. They're pumping out nonsense. You hire men like Lockjack and them to give you Vision 2020. Lockjack need to be retiring. He have no vision. He could never understand the world that come in. How you will use people like that in the 70s and 80s? You have to use people in the 20s and the 30s. Look who run in the world. The top 5 richest people in the world are under the age of 40. And we going looking for dinosaurs to give us our vision for the future. No wonder we going dinosaur way. And my friend Patrice King Newton, she's not going to support me anymore. Because I'm adamant. My friend Misty tried to calm the conversation and tell her, no, there will always be room for teachers. How? How? In a world when sixth sense technology is being developed, when you will eventually be the device, all that come in. The next generation living in a world we can't think about. We can't think about transportation is not going to be a problem to move people. Transportation is going to be a problem to move goods. Amazon experimenting with delivering your purchases via drone. The world is not waiting on us. And we're going to end up isolated and alone and foolish in a country 20 years from now, still arguing about flood and box drain. We don't understand that for a certain time of the year, rain falls on this country. So we build concrete drains to take that bounty of fresh water and wash it into the sea. That's what we do. And we know a large time of the year we have no water. So it's drought. And nobody has thought yet to build a retention pond or a dam to take all of those drains and all of that bounty of fresh water and secure it for the dry season. But we want to build desalination plants. How is this still continuing in a world of so many intelligent and educated people? How? How? You know why I buy this? I buy this for two reasons. One, Wassa water don't taste good anymore. And two, I don't trust Wassa. I don't. So I trust the reverse osmosis process that gives me fresh water to drink. That's the truth. But we should have a better water policy than that. We should have 41 independent water companies. Quasi-public-private sector partnerships that have a responsibility and a standard. You have a Department of Water. And the Department of Water every week tests the water quality coming out of all 41. And fire people who fail to meet the standard. Shut them down. Look what's going on in that state in America. People going to jail for dirty water. We have no clue as to how beautiful and happy this life in Trinidad could be. We're not supposed to have a city dump. If we had a recycling policy, we'd run out of garbage quick. All the material that we need to pave the road, look at here. This and the rest of the trash, combined with our pitch. But we're decimating our mountains. Go and see what we're doing in the name of aggregate. Illegal quarrying is the death of this country. But they're using a tree line. A tree line is not a cutlass, you know. A tree line is when they plant all them trees by the highway. So you think it's a jungle. Push through that tree line, see what's going on behind them trees. There are so many things that could be done by a progressive government that has the people at heart, that want to empower the people. There's so many things that could be done so quickly. We could put the people of this country to work in such vast numbers. We could make it so easy for people to own a home. We could make all our schools functional. We could get our health sector functional. We could get the cost of food down. We could make farming in the modern world a reality in Trinidad and Tobago. Food processing and food manufacture in this country is supposed to be our #1 go-to goal. But we're turning our people into junk. We grinding them out of school to go and work in the oil field. Oil field is nonsense. That's like the coal field 100 years ago. It's done. We're creating security guards and KFC cashiers. It's madness. Can't continue. We shouldn't allow it to continue. All the things that are wrong in this nation are encapsulated in that argument about Kamala and Rowley and who wore the right shoes to go into that flood. Not a conversation about the speed and the movement of the Trinidad National Guard, which is what that army needs to become. But the speed and the movement of the Trinidad National Guard and their machinery and their equipment and their people that went in and rescued all of these people and took them to the emergency shelters and all the systems that were set up to bring them fresh water and food and to take care of them while the Army Corps of Engineers pump all that water out. Yeah, but we have nothing like that. And that's not the conversation we have in. So the media know because the media belongs to the parties. And the parties know they're not really about governance. So the nonsense is going to be the conversation. Yeah? I start late and I run late. And the truth of the matter is, this country is being mismanaged in the name of racist tribal politics to facilitate the greed and egos of some little people that are allowed to go all over the world now. They've stopped just doing it in Trinidad. They broaden their horizons. They go all over the world and masquerade as success when all they are crooks. And they and their criminal co-conspirators should be hanged for what they did to this country. And I'll tell you something. Honey and vinegar. Everything I just told you there is honey. But I promise you, I will find every opportunity possible that we must write laws that go back in time and find from Johnny O'Halloran come back and bring the people's money back home. Because it belongs to you. And any public office holder that used his stint in public office to steal public land, we must go and repossess it and throw him and his family off of it. And any structure that they built on it, if it is food land, we must break it down and dump it. Yeah? There are things that we need to do in this country that will send a message to all the criminals that have darkened this nation. And all of them, because we don't need them. We don't need them. What we need is hope and opportunity for all the people of this country. And I want to tell you something. I don't care about what these barking dogs have to say. I don't care. My role in this conversation is to give you the information. And if you never have an opportunity to vote for me, make sure you ask your member of parliament. Go and ask Kamala. Put the boots aside, Kams. How come you never build the maritime security wall to stop the drug trade? Go and ask Keith Rowley. All this distraction aside, Ketos. Why is your government not building the maritime security wall to stop the drug trade? Because if either of them had done it, Trinidad would have turned around by itself. Yeah? Another conversation for another time. So, with that, bring it to a close. The next time you'll hear from me, I don't know if we're going to do it Monday night, because Monday is a holiday, and to those who celebrating Eid, I think it's Eid, happy Eid. Yeah, and on the next time maybe Tuesday, unless something happens. So between now and then, enjoy your holiday, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.